I'm Vale from Vale Cooking, and today I'm going to show you a simple recipe from my book, Easy Recipes for Busy People, that I like to make when I want a nice pasta meal that's quick and easy but doesn't have a lot of heavy sauces. It's called sun-dried tomato, basil and bacon. The ingredients are basic, and if you see over here, it's just some diced bacon with some garlic, a bit of chopped up sun-dried tomato, half a bunch of basil mixed with some olive oil and some pasta. Okay, so what I've done is I've put on a pot of salted water to boil, and now it's just coming to the boil. It's ready to have the pasta put in. So you just put in the amount of pasta you want for the amount of people you're feeding. For us tonight it's 4 people, so just a nice handful. Put those into the pot. While we're waiting for the pasta to cook, we're going to fry off the bacon and the garlic in this pan. And I also put the sun-dried tomatoes in it just at the last minute, just to reheat them a little bit so that they're not going into the pasta cold. In my recipe it says to put that in the oven, but I just find that for me, unless I need the oven on, I prefer just to chuck it in the pan with the bacon to heat it up. Saves having to have too many elements on at once. Alright. So now that's boiling again, and you just have to keep stirring it and cook it until it's al dente, or to your liking, however you like your pasta. Everybody likes their pasta different. So because I'm cooking with bacon, I don't put a lot of oil in because it usually comes out, but I do put just a couple of drops in. And then turn the heat back up on the frying pan. Okay, now that the oil in the pan's hot, I just add the bacon with the garlic added to it and just stir that. Now, I like my bacon to be crispy and have a bit of crunch to it, so I like to cook mine for a bit longer. But once again, it's up to preference here. If you don't like your bacon crunchy, just brown it off, so it's still even. If you like it crunchy, then cook it a little bit more. Right. There should be oil that comes out of the bacon to keep it moist enough for you, but if for some reason you're not getting a lot of oil from the bacon, you can always add a little bit more if needed. I tend not to, because I find that between the oil that's in the sun-dried tomatoes and the oil that you put on with the basil, that's enough to keep everything moist with the pasta later on. Right, so you just continue to cook this until it's ready, and keep stirring the pasta while you're doing it to make sure that it stays boiling and it cooks. As you can see, it's browning up nicely, and you're still getting a little bit of bacon bits on the bottom. Just use your spoon to stir them in, because they'll add flavour to your pasta later. They'll add flavour to your pasta later if you get those little brown bits up off the bottom of the pan. And we'll just stir the pasta again. Not too far off of being cooked, so I can just get my pasta off the spoon. Not going to come off. Just be aware that your bacon will spit at you like that while you're cooking. And you can always turn the heat down a little bit if it gets too big at you. that's about where I'll leave the bacon. Normally, like I said, if I was cooking this simply for myself, I'd make that a bit crispier. But because it's for other people, we'll leave it in the middle of the roast so it's where everybody should like it. Alright, and this is where I turn my plate down to very low now. Put the tomatoes in. If there's any oil, put it in with them because that's flavour that goes into the pasta later. And I just give that a stir and leave it on low heat until the pasta's ready. So everything's nice and warm, ready for the pasta when it's cooked. Alright, the pasta's nearly ready. While we're waiting for it to finish cooking that last minute or so, the other variation I do with this is if I've got a little bit more time and I want to spend a little bit more time making dinner, I'll get cherry tomatoes, a punnet of cherry tomatoes, cut them in half and put them in the oven and grill them under the oven and substitute for the sun-dried tomatoes just for a different flavour, something a little bit nicer. I also will use pancetta, it's the same ingredients but just gives a different flavour to the pasta. Okay, so that pasta's ready to go now, so we'll just turn the stove top off and drain it. Over here, you need I don't rinse my pasta. I think it helps for the rest of the ingredients to be able to stick if you don't rinse off the pasta. So we'll come over to here. And to finish it off, it's just a simple matter of adding the cooked bacon and warmed tomato and garlic to the pot. And then adding the oil and the basil that you infused earlier. Now you can add as much basil or as little as you want according to how you like it. I think basil's a wonderful flavour and it goes well with bacon and pasta and tomato, so I tend to use the full half bunch. And then just give it a good stir. Mix it all together. Then you get a serving bowl. And I just put it into the serving bowl, put it in the middle of the table, and then let everybody help themselves to it. And you make sure you scrape all of that out because that's where all your flavour is. And to serve, it's just a simple matter of putting it on the table with some Parmesan cheese and just letting people serve up what they want and they can sprinkle some cheese on top of it. So that's my sun-dried tomato, bacon, garlic pasta. Enjoy.